What's up, boys? This is Contango coming at you from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. And today we are moving ahead with our alternate universe game against Corporal Clegg and Piloto. We're on Germany round 2. So before we do anything else, let's just do a quick flyover of the board and see what things look like. You can see lots of US units over here. Germans are encroaching on France. More on that later. Italians came down here and took out that territory from the UK. Also moved this way a little bit. Russians kind of moved up north. ANZAC backing off from Japan a little bit, and Japan going after the UK and France on the first turn. So that is how things sit. So before we go on with the German second turn, a couple of corrections from the last turn. So the first thing was Piloto had attacked this sub with his French sub, but he didn't remember that subs can submerge in 1940 Global. So we corrected that since the sub would just submerge. So instead, the French sub is going to C-Zone 56. Also, he spent more money than he actually had, so we revised the units here to be a tank, an artillery, and an infantry. And then there were some convoy raids to be done. So France has convoy markers here, and there's one in there as well. So just two potential IPCs that could be taken. Sorry, I guess three. Two here and one there. So I'm going to roll that now. And so I believe the income for France should have been 26. So we got 26 IPCs here. So I'm going to roll the convoys, see how much gets taken there. So starting off with F20, which is worth 2 IPCs. This is going to be 5 dice, 2 for each plane, 1 for the cruiser. That sub in the bottom is not actually in a convoy zone. So this is going to be 5 dice to convoy 2 IPCs. So 5 dice, if you can see that. And we got 3. So that's $2 gone. The 2 IPCs gone. And then the other territory, F21 is only worth 1. I'm not going to move the camera, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice to roll for that one. So there's 6 and 1 more. And we got it. So France is going to be down $3. So take 3 away. So they'll be down to $23. And then we'll move on with Germany. Actually, before we do that, I'll just quick give you a shot of the summary here, which I like to do at the beginning. That should say round 2, so my mistake. You can see there, still big income gap. We are going to make up that city gap a little bit on this turn, which you'll see in a minute. So, yeah, so Germany, round 2. So the first things are the purchases. So Germany had 69 IPCs. So that is 7 infantry, a stack of 3 artillery, 6 mechanized infantry, and then 2 artillery and 1 mechanized infantry is 69 IPCs. And then no declarations of war this time. So still just at war with the UK and France. Okay, so I guess moving on with combat moves. So let's actually start down here. It's the best place to put this. Okay, so we've got this 1 infantry from G21 is going to load onto the transport and head down here into C-Zone 95 and offload into UK 19, presuming that this battle goes well. Also, the battleship and the destroyer are going to come down here. So that's 1, 2, 3. And off screen is this cruiser in Sea Zone 86 is going to join them. So 3 ships against 1. And that's it for this area. Everything else is going to be up north. All right, so first thing is this tank from Independent Neutral 2 is going to, blitz through F4 into F3 and take both those territories. There's going to be a lot more headed into F3, but I don't need to do that right now. We just need to take it, so that's going to take both of those French territories. Then we're going to have 4 infantry from G4. There was 11, I believe, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yes. So 4 of them are going to go into PA3 against this French force, along with a bunch of planes. So firstly, see if I can get a little closer here without knocking everything over. Okay, so firstly, these 2 planes that were on the carrier, oh, one just disappeared off the table. I'm going to get another one out of the box. Because that's not going to be very easy to get right now. Okay, so 1 fighter and 1 tactical bomber off the carrier are going to participate in this. They'll have 2 movement left, so they went 1, 2. Then from G11, there's going to be 2 fighters and 2 tactical bombers. So the path here is going to be through F5, then Independent Neutral 2, then to that pro-allied. So they'll have 1 left, 1 movement left. And then this tactical bomber from G5, the one with the city, is also going to participate. So he'll have 2 movement left. So 7 planes and 4 infantry against 5 infantry there. Okay, so that takes care of that. Yeah, I guess I don't need all these red arrows in France if I'm just going to use the tank for now. We'll clean up the rest of that on non-combat move. Okay, so then this bomber, can you see this? Yes, in G15 is going to head 1, 2, 3, 4, bomb the industrial complex. It'll have 3 movement left. Likewise, this bomber from G5 is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and also have 3 movement left. Okay, so I think that's it for combat moves. I'm just going to pause it right here, make sure that I didn't forget anything. All right, so I think we are good on combat moves. So not too many battles this time. All right, so I believe the first thing we're supposed to do is bombing raids. I think it goes bombing raids, then amphibious assaults, and then regular combat. I could be wrong about that. I kind of forget at this point, but let's go ahead with the bombing raid in UK 4. So there's no fighters there to scramble, so just going to be 2 bombers going against the complex's anti-aircraft guns. So 2 at 1, and they both missed. So I can breathe a sigh of relief. Still got both my bombers. All right, so then 2 regular dice, and that is going to be 4 plus 4, so 8 damage on the industrial complex. Let me just find some chips here. Yeah, so that could have gone better, but at least I didn't lose my bombers, right? All right, so again, that industrial complex has 8 damage on it. Okay, so on to amphibious assaults, which is down here. So first we've got to do this battle with the, we got a battleship, a destroyer, and a cruiser against a destroyer. So, all right, so destroyer, cruiser, and a battleship. And they get a hit. And then the French rolling back, miss. So this, whoops. So this French destroyer is gone, and then this can offload, and there's no units there defending. So we're just going to take that. So that's it for that. So then we have this combat up in whatever it's called here, PA3. So we've got 4 infantry, 3 fighters, and 4 tactical bombers. So one of the tactical bombers is going to be rolling at a 3 because it won't be paired. Okay, so 4 unsupported infantry. Then we've got 3 fighters, 1 tactical bomber that's not paired, 3 tactical bombers that are paired. So that's 3 hits. So I will remove 3 from the French. So then in retaliation, the French have 5 infantry. So 5, 3 hits. So that's unfortunate. Germans will have to lose 3 infantry. And I think we'll keep going. I'm worried about losing a plane, but let's hope they don't get 2 hits. All right, so 1 remaining infantry, 3 fighters and a tactical bomber, and then 3 tactical bombers that are paired. So that's more than 2 hits. So the French are gone. And then 2 in retaliation. And they do get 2 hits. Okay, so the French are gone. Also the German infantry. And we're going to have to lose a German fighter, unfortunately. And that territory is going to stay French for the time being. So we'll get rid of that roundel. And actually, I'm going to get rid of one of the fighters that had 1 movement left instead of the one with 2 movement left. Okay, so non-combat moves. I guess we can get rid of all these red arrows. Probably could have paused it while I did that. Okay, so let's start with down here. Actually, before we do that, let's start with the income. So this is going to be 2 from the UK onto Germany. So Germany went from 56 to 58. Actually, can't see that. And then the UK down 3. And then from France, that's going to be 4. To 22, and Germany up 4 to 62. I think that's it for income. Okay. So all of these ground units are going to be moving into PA9. So from F6, that's 2 infantry and an artillery. They're just going to hang out in the desert for right now until I can consolidate them. From PX5, 2 infantry and an AA gun. And from G17, 1 infantry. So there should be 7 German ground units there at the end of the day. Down here, this fighter in I5 is going to stay put. The infantry and anti-aircraft gun from I1 are also going to join I5. And then 1 fighter from G11 is coming down there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there'll be 2 fighters there. From G13, the rest of these planes, so 2 fighters and a tactical bomber, are going to be heading 1, 2, 3, 4 to PA9. Okay, so from F2, 4 infantry and 1 artillery going into F3. From F5, 3 infantry and 1 artillery are going into F3. From independent neutral 2, 3 infantry and 1 artillery. They're going to hang out in the water for the moment, but they're also going in there. And then 2 mechanized infantry from F5 are going to go into F3. So basically all of the units that could move 1 space are going in there. And then only the 2 mechanized and 1 tank will be in there that are mobile units. So then into F5, actually. Okay, so into F5, the tank and the mechanized infantry from F2, mechanized infantry from IN2, 3 tanks and 2 mechanized infantry from G4. We'll head into F5. From G10, 3 infantry and 1 artillery are headed into F2. Also 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 AA guns are headed into F2. Then from the Pro Axis 3 here, this is 6 infantry, they're going into F5. Then from G4, everything remaining, which is 7 infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 AA gun, they're all going into independent neutral 2. From G5, everything is going into G7. I'm hoping that you can actually see what I'm doing here. I apologize, I was kind of off screen. Yeah, so everything from G4 went into IN2. Everything from G5 went into G7. Everything remaining, that is, from G4 went into IN2. The mobile units went into F5. So for these planes, the two bombers have 3 movement remaining. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 and go into F5. The 3 planes with 2 movement left are going to go 1, 2 to G5. So that's 2 tactical bombers and 1 fighter. And then 2 tactical bombers and 1 fighter will go to G4 with only 1 movement left. These 6 infantry from PX2 are going to go to G2. And then the fleet that was in C-Zone 22 is all going to move back to C-Zone 24. The battleship's still being damaged, since I don't have a naval base to repair at this turn. All right, and the one thing that I see I missed is the 3 mechanized infantry in G15 are going to head to G5 with everything else. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to pause it for a minute and try to clean some of this up, and then I will go over the what's in each territory. Okay, so we've cleaned things up a little bit. I did forget about placing the units, so let's do that now. So we've got so 7 infantry and 3 artillery are going to go into G5. I think you can see that. Okay. Then 2 artillery and 1 tank. Sorry, not tank. Mechanized infantry are going to go into F5, the factory that we stole from the French on the first turn. 2 mechanized infantry are going to be built down here in G21. And the other 4 mechanized infantry are going to be built in G15. Okay, so that's our placement. Then I placed here the income for Germany. So 8 IPCs are going to come from France. So they've plundered what Corporal Clegg will call not Paris. So 5 for the city and then 3 for the minor complex. So they're stealing 8 IPCs from France. I believe that leaves France with 15 remaining. The next 5, that came from the UK for UK 19. There's a city there. So they're plundering 5 IPCs from the UK. Then 62 is the income for Germany. And then the extra 5 is for the national objective of not being at war with the Soviet Union. So what does that come to total? 70, 80. So Germany should have 80 total IPCs at the end of the turn. So let's just call out the units here. So in UK 19, we have 1 infantry. C-Zone 95 is a destroyer, a cruiser, a battleship, and a transport. Up top in C-Zone 24 is transport, destroyer, sub, cruiser, aircraft carrier, and battleship. In, set this down here, G2, there's 6 infantry. In G5, there are 2 tactical bombers, 1 fighter, 7 infantry, 3 artillery. In G7, there are 2 AA guns, 13 infantry, 4 artillery. In G4, there are 2 tactical bombers and 1 fighter. In IN2 here, there are 7 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 AA gun. In F3, we have 10 infantry, 3 artillery, 1 tank, and 2 mechanized infantry. In F2, there are 2 AA guns, 3 artillery, and 5 infantry. In F6, maybe? F5, sorry. There are 6 tanks, 8 mechanized infantry, 6 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 bombers. I think that's everything up there. In PA9, we have 5 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 AA gun, 1 tactical bomber, and 2 fighters, along with 1 fighter and 1 tactical bomber from Italy. We have 2 mechanized infantry in G21, also in G20, if you can see that, 2 infantry, 1 AA gun. In G15, 4 mechanized infantry, and PX6, 7 infantry. And I think that's it. So I'll do one more quick fly over the board for anyone who's interested to see where things are at. I'm kind of sour about losing that fighter, but that's how things go. Otherwise, an okay turn, not a ton of battles. So next up should be Piloto with the Russian turn. And then I'm not sure how fast I'll be on the next one. I have actually a in-person game on Saturday. We're going to be playing Young Grasshoppers Tournament Edition, which should be fun. So yeah, so I may not be the fastest. It might be maybe Sunday before I can do my next turn. But anyway, best of luck to Piloto. I guess he doesn't have to roll any dice with Russia, which now that I'm thinking of it, I guess there's no convoys for Germany. Just checking on that because I like to forget that. Okay, so I think that's it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Just realized I think I forgot to call out these units in I5. So there's 1 infantry, 1 AA gun, and 2 fighters, along with all the Italian units. So, sorry, I think I'm done. Talk to you later.